She's one of our favourite ever This Morning guests and even credits us with helping her land the role of Call the Midwife, which we regularly bring up, actually.
Yeah. And I think we had a very, very important hand to play
and we'll
there.
keep saying it.
Before we chat to the brilliant Miriam Margolyes, here's a reminder of why she's always kept us on our toes.
We were both given our ice creams and a little voice behind us went, I want one.
Don't you get nervous?
I do, yes.
Well, there you are. I think it's good because it makes you crackle a bit.
Right.
And I can see you're crackling. But,
I'm very nervous.
I have no intention of taking that off for you because I think
bloody hell no.
because I think you break my fingers.
I couldn't quite make out what was happening. There seemed to be a penis lying around. But anyway, whoever it belonged to, all the best.
Are you all ready for it?
No, I'm behind.
Are you?
I'm all behind, actually.
You are really trying to get your tongue right into that, aren't you?
Well, that's what tongues are for.
Oh, Miriam, we do love you. We really do.
I'm naughty, that's the thing.
Yeah, that's what we like.
Brilliantly naughty.
When people say their favourite dinner party, you can pick 5 people at your favourite dinner party, you're always on the list.
How flattering. What's the food?
There's definitely ice cream, but that's for sure.
I like coffee ice cream.
Oh,
and there's a cafe, there's a restaurant called Mullin's Brasserie in Margate, very near the Turner Museum. And that's got the best coffee ice cream in the world.
And to them we say,
Good
you're
morning.
welcome.
So we should talk about Call the Midwife, because as we said there, we like to
yes.
believe we had a little part of playing in that. And the role that you play in that, you love the show, you wanted to be part of it.
I love it.
And as a character, she's a wonderful character. And you've said before that you think that they might have given you that role because you've got similarities to her. In what way would you say?
Well, I think she's greedy and bossy.
Right.
And quite outspoken.
OK.
Now, you may say I'm quite wrong about that, but
You are quite
I
wrong
think
about
it's possible that may have influenced the way the character developed.
Yeah.
And the Christmas special was shot, some of it was shot in the Outer Hebrides.
Oh, that's the most beautiful place I've ever been to in my whole life.
But you did quite a lot of it with a wet wimple.
A wet wimple is a disadvantage.
Yes.
I didn't know how much of a disadvantage, but it's very difficult. I mean, when I go back next time, and I will go back there, I won't have a wimple on.
It's not a comfortable costume.
No, the whole thing is awkward. And, for example, when you go to the loo, and you go in a different way, I know, but when I go to the loo, we have to pull up because we're going to sit down, we have to pull up everything to make sure that it doesn't go in the bowl. And there's a whole heap to pull up, you know. I mean, it's quite tricky.
Not comfortable. And also, I can imagine that sort of stops you being able to hear people speaking.
You can't hear what people are saying. And it really is tricky. Never mind, it's a joy to be in the programme.
Yeah.
And, you know, just now, I was in the Lorraine department.
Yeah.
You know, she does another programme.
Yes.
And my chums, Cliff and Alice, what's her name? I've forgotten her name now. Annabelle Apsian.
Oh,
She's lovely. And she came to stay with me in Australia, actually.
Did she?
Yes.
Oh, right.
So I know her a bit better. I can't remember her name, but I know her a bit better than the others.
And the new series, it's back. You were in the first episode and then we lose you for a bit, but you are coming back.
I'm coming back. I'm coming back. I had to do awful things to a lot of people. I'm not going to say exactly what, but I begged on my knees, and I'm coming back.
Well, no, as Holly said, we like to believe that we had a hand in that because we did keep saying, every time you came on, we pleaded down the camera, you pleaded down the camera, the casting team at Call the Midwife, we think they listened, we think they called your agent. And so now we call upon the commissioning editors of all the networks to listen to you now, because there is something you've always wanted to do, isn't there?
Actually, yes, but I don't know, it seems wrong to use a programme to do it.
That's why we're here for you. We don't do it for anyone else.
Think of us like you're just agents on screen.
We're like
I tell you what I would love to be in. I want to be Brenda Blethyn.
Right.
She's got Vera.
Oh, yeah.
And I want a programme that's as good as that, with as toughness as
Like
she's got.
so as a
detective. I want to be an old lady detective.
Right.
So more Vera than Marple.
More Vera than Marple.
Yeah.
And I don't care where they send me or what I have to do. I won't go in the jungle. That's the one thing I won't do, because Cliff went in the
Yeah,
jungle.
he did.
Did you? You haven't seen yet, but he's lost a lot of weight.
Has he?
Since he's been
Yes,
out?
yes.
Has he?
Well, not since, I think,
When he was
when he was in there.
Yeah, they all do.
Yeah.
You mentioned your home in Australia a moment ago, and you were going to go back with your partner Heather, and you've delayed that now because I'm assuming, as everyone else, you're watching the news with horror.
It is a national catastrophe, and I think it's a planet catastrophe, and I'm terribly worried about it. And I hope that everybody who can will send money to the fire services and to look after animals, because apparently 500 million wild creatures have died in that conflagration. No, my house is about 30k from the fires. It's under control. It's the Moreton fire in the Southern Highlands in New South Wales, and it's terrifying because there's nothing you can do. I can't do anything.
No.
And I just hope and pray and just wait.
Yeah,
And that, as you, I think, so you've said yourself, proof of global warming, proof that the climate is changing.
Yes, anybody who denies climate better come and talk to me, because I'll bloody stuff them. I'm not having it. It's absolute nonsense. Of course there's climate change and global warming, and we are responsible. And we know that because of the extent of it. Of course there's been fires before, but never like this. This is at a level that is unprecedented. So put that in your pipe and smoke it.
No.
Well, don't smoke it, but I mean,
No, we know.
they've got to take it on board.
Yeah, no.
You are exploring that country more, because I know we talked last time about the documentaries you've been making. And
I've got a documentary. I'm a documentary person.
I know, and there's two. You've got the obesity one that's here, isn't it?
Yes, that's in England.
In England, and then the one in Australia. Just explain what that's about.
It's called Miriam Margolyes, Almost Australian, because I became an Australian in 2013 because my partner's Australian and wanted to be able to come and go, and I love the country.
It's a beautiful country.
And I voted in the last election, and I got this crap lot that we've got at the moment, and over there, like the crap lot we've got here. I know I'm not supposed to say that, but I can't.
Oh, it's after the election, say what you like.
Oh, I can say what I like. Well, I won't take that out. But it's going around Australia to the bits of Australia that I didn't know about. Rural Australia, Aboriginal Australia. And it's fascinating. It's an amazing country. It really is.
We started the show today talking about Meghan and Harry and saying that they were going to distance themselves.
I know.
We'll maybe come to that in just a second, but I did, that sort of led me into you and the Queen. You have a bit of a moment with the Queen, didn't you?
Well, I have talked about this before on television, and I feel sort of awkward saying it again. But I mean, I was invited to the palace as part of British Book Week, and when the Queen came over to me and she asked me what I did, and what do you do, in a very nice way, and I said I said, I'm the best reader of stories in the whole world. And she went like that. And then she immediately left me and went to the next person and said, and what do you do? And he said, Mum, I teach dyslexic children to read. He was Scottish. And we've noticed that if you put the letters in different colours and the pages are printed in different colours, it helps the children read and absorb the information more quickly and easily. And I said, standing next to him, really, how fascinating. I didn't know that. And she turned to me and said, be quiet. Which she had every right to do, but it was a bit discombobulated. You can imagine. Everyone went...
And what do you think of Harry and Meghan's decision?
I'm a bit troubled by it because they didn't let anybody know. But I think, we don't know anything about it. We don't know them and we don't know the circumstances. And I think people are too ready to jump in and criticise and have opinions. I don't really know what's going on. I wish them the best. They're a young couple at the beginning of their married life together, and I want it to go well for them and swimmingly. So I'm going to reserve judgment, but I think honestly, I think they should have told people first. That's what I think.
Yeah, just talk about it.
Miriam, thank you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, can I just say,
Go on.
there's a wonderful programme on BBC called This Country. It's a comedy programme, and I don't like comedy, but that is brilliant.
Really?
Yes, it's done by the Cooper family. There's Trevor Cooper, marvellous actor.
And you're not in this. You're
No,
just
I'm
like-
not,
Oh.
and I'm not
Do you want
right
to be in
for
that
it.
one?
No, I'm too middle class for it. I really am. But if you haven't seen it, watch it. This Country.
Okay. The other one you are in is called The Midwife.
The Midwife.
Also
Call
on
the
BBC
Midwife.
One. And that's at 8 p.m. on Sunday.
I love you.
Oh, we
so
love
much.
it. We hope you get home soon.
Thank
I really
you.
do.
Thank
really
you very
do.
much.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Miriam.